My name is Kelly Sutherton and I'm the team leader for the Birmingham 2022 Commonwealth Games, and I'd like to welcome you to England Athletics Regional Awards, where we'll be celebrating our sport and also the amazing volunteers across every role. I just want to say a really big good luck to everybody today, and I hope whether you're recognised or not, we all recognise how much effort you put into our sport to make it work. And more so this year, how difficult it's been with how the world has been with COVID-19. And we are truly thankful, and we obviously hope, it all gets better going forward from now. But please keep going. We need you, I need you, and hopefully we can have a great year over the next couple of years, leading into 22 and every Olympics thereafter. And good luck, everybody.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the England Athletics South East Regional Council Volunteer Awards. I'm Julian Starkey, the Chair of the Regional Council and one of your hosts this evening, alongside my colleagues Keith, Alan, Stella, Bronwyn, Tom and Amy, our club support manager. This year the awards are slightly different, as I'm sure you're all aware. However, I see a few positives. It does allow us to make our own decisions about what to eat and drink this evening, instead of the sometimes limited choices at the buffet. It also allows more friends and families to be part of the event, who I hope have managed to follow the YouTube link and are able to watch what's going on and find out a little bit more about those involved. Before we get on with the awards, I'd just like to say a few words about the council and what we do. Our role is to be part of the conduit between England Athletics head offices and the clubs, coaches, officials, athletes and other volunteers who are all part of our sport. We feed views up and share the views of others. The role allows us to talk to others and find out where some of the challenges are within the sport and hopefully get something done about them. I would have liked to have got around myself this year to ask a few questions of everybody, gather bits of opinion, but like everybody else, my world's been mostly like we find ourselves tonight, meeting over Zoom and trying to remember to click or unclick the mute button. The council is looking for new members and there will be elections taking place shortly. We do have a number of vacancies and I'm happy to talk to anybody further if they're interested in what's entailed and joining us. Tonight, this is what it's about. I hope you can see that. This is something I was privileged to get a couple of years ago. And for our winners, they'll be receiving one of these either in the post or if we're very lucky, I'll be able to give it to you directly. The tempo of the evening will be to step through each award in turn, ask each of the nominees a question or two and announce the winner. Just in terms of logistics, we are able to mute everybody. However, if you do see your name come up, please unmute yourself as you'll be in the spotlight and be asked a question or two. A little bit about the awards. Just the judging panel found a number of the categories were very hard to judge and determine the winners and the runners-up. This shows the quality of the work that you do and the appreciation of those who have taken the time to nominate you. Their words are used to determine the winners. We all declare any personal knowledge to minimise bias and ensure fairness. Now, there's somebody just joining with us. Our first award this evening is going to be presented by Tom Easton.
Good evening. Our first award of the evening is Athletics and Running at Home. This award recognises an individual, club or group of members who helped support their local community to stay active during the global pandemic. And the runner-up in this category is there it is, Jenny Castle of Running for Fun. Well done, Jenny. Jenny was described in her nomination as the kindest and most thoughtful, encouraging person I have ever met, which is high praise indeed. Jenny makes sure her runners are having fun and feel supported at all times in a very positive environment. During the lockdown, Jenny was in constant contact with her run group, checking in with messages and continuing to give advice and encouragement to people, keep people active. As we began to emerge from the lockdown, Jenny took the lead in making sure everyone was up to date on COVID guidelines and ready to run safely. As one member put it, the group became a welcome connection with normality and routine at such a difficult time. Hopefully we've got Jenny with us today. There she is. Hi, Jenny. Thank you very much for joining us.
That's it. I don't know. Can you
Jenny,
hear me?
there? I think Jenny's still muted. So we can't hear from her just yet.
We're trying to unmute.
Yes, I'm muted.
Okay, I think I'm there.
No?
No? Hello?
I can hear.
We can hear you. I think,
Jenny,
Jenny, you
yes.
there?
Yeah.
Tom, I
Yeah,
think Tom
I'm
might
here,
have
yeah.
frozen for a minute.
Something's happened, has it?
Can you hear us, Tom?
Hi, Jenny. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Just a couple of questions, Jenny. I mean, how difficult was it for you to stay motivated during the early stages of the lockdown? It was such a difficult time for everyone.
It was a difficult time, but I think because we're sort of used to going out running, it was easy and you just sort of made yourself do it, really, and you went out. It was hard, but we just had to do it.
Do you feel your group has come closer together as a result of everything they've done with you this year?
I think so, yes, because they've all had opportunities to perhaps run differently and then obviously sort of convey their sort of runs with each other. And it's just been much easier to sort of communicate, I think, with each other as well.
That's great. I mean, it sounds really good to hear. And there's so much positive stuff in the comments and the nomination we received from you, Jenny. So well done and keep up the good work.
Thank you. We will do, because we all love our running and we'll definitely be there.
Brilliant. Well, we'll see you again next year in that case.
Okay, hope so. Thank you very much, everybody.
You're very welcome. Moving on to the winner in this category, which if we'll have on the screen in just a moment, I'm sure.
Notifications.
There it is. It's Tom Preshow of Windsor, Slough, Eton and Hounslow AC. Now, Tom has been described as a very special and valued coach at WSEH and was praised particularly for the way he helped his athletes deal with the consequences of the pandemic. At the beginning of the lockdown, Tom was organised and prepared, giving his athletes a list very early on of all the equipment they might need to buy, as he knew suppliers would sell out quickly, and he even went so far as to make some equipment himself. He's made everyone in his group feel motivated to push themselves to the best of their ability during the lockdown, spending his own time working out individual conditioning plans and analysing countless videos to help his athletes improve. One parent praised the supportive and welcoming structure and culture Tom has created in his squad, and also the technical videos and Zoom calls Tom has used to support his athletes during lockdown. Tom puts so much time and hard work into what he does at his club, giving constant encouragement and support when people are feeling low. The parent of one athlete describing his choice to work with Tom this year as the best decision I've ever made for my daughter's sporting development. And I think we now have a video to play put together by members of Tom's group.
I would say Tom gets the most satisfaction when the group is enjoying themselves at training and in competition and improving in all our favourite events. We all know his famous quote, "If it goes wrong, it's my fault, and when it goes right, it's all on you."
Tom gives up so much of his time to train us.
But he always makes it really fun. We also have fun when we go out together.
Tom comes to most of our competitions.
He keeps us cheerful.
And gives us calming words of advice.
You're in that nice position that you're getting ahead of everyone now.
During lockdown, Tom set weekly training we could do in our back gardens.
That's actually really good, Alec.
And gave us feedback on videos we sent him.
Everyone I'm seeing do it looks really, really strong. I would.
He did 2 weekly online training sessions with us and he encouraged us a lot.
You're all strong enough that you can do that. Olivia, that looks awesome.
Tom helps us achieve all of our goals.
Recovering from injury.
Competing in personal bests. Club achievements and medals.
South of England champs.
Going to England National Individual Championship.
And England Multi-Event Championships.
Excellent stuff. Now, unfortunately, Tom can't be with us in person tonight. I believe it's his birthday, actually. So I hope he's having a great evening. Instead, one of his fellow coaches, James de Viveno, is with us, which is a shame we can't meet Tom. But as I have to say, James is an old friend of mine, so it's lovely to see him as well. Evening, James.
Good evening, Tom. Good evening, everyone. And thanks for giving me the opportunity. I'm, delighted to be able to represent Tom. And hopefully, I know there are quite a few awards to get through this evening, so hopefully I won't go on too long. Because I can say so much that you can already see in that video that Team Tom, as the group calls themselves, are all so enthusiastic and so engaged, so supportive. My daughter's only recently joined over the summer, and she's been made to feel welcome straight away by the group. And we're actually based in Ealing in West London, but it only takes about 20 to 25 minutes to get down to the Thames Valley Athletics Centre where Tom trains the group. Most of the athletes are from Windsor, Slough, Eton and Hounslow, but also a few from other clubs such as Vale of Aylesbury. The reason we joined, we'd actually seen Tom in action with the squad at some competitions last season at the South of England Indoors and the Herts and Surrey and Sussex Pentathlons. And I was so impressed by the way that he interacted with the group. He was so supportive to each and every individual athlete. And there was a real, just a sense of fun amongst the squad. We was very happy with the club here in Ealing, but it's very hard to get support for sort of multi-events across all of the disciplines that my daughter really needed, and also to be in a supportive group. So it was a logical choice in the summer really to be able to go and join Team Tom. And obviously operating with the sort of England Athletics, sort of the restricted sort of capability of coaching the numbers and so on. But in that time, Mia has learned so much, and she has really progressed because of it's a combination of everything that Tom commits to the group, the amount of time, both in actually coaching the sessions, but also the planning that goes into them. There's a real sort of focus on the very, very technical. He's very observant, and he'll really sort of feed that back to the athletes. And he takes it into account if they've got any injuries, and he'll support them through that. There's a lot of emphasis on strength and conditioning. Tom himself has gone away and done a strength and conditioning course. He's always learning new skills. I mean, he's got various England Athletics qualifications at the highest level, at sort of event group level, but he's also learning from other sources. So wherever there is extra material, he'll learn about it and then bring that to the squad. And really the thing, just going back, and you mentioned it in your intro, Tom, is that he's created this just really friendly and supportive. The athletes, some of them go to school with each other, but even if they don't, they really gel, and that really helps bring the best out. They get such a good experience through their development with Team Tom. So yeah.
That's a great, amazing tributes, James. Thank you so much for standing in for him. I'm hoping to get across to Windsor to give him his award myself, but we'll see what happens. But thank you so much for coming along and stepping up.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
So thank you, James, and well done to Tom and Jenny. Many congratulations to them, but I'm now going to hand over to Julian to present the next award.
You just unmute, Julian.
Imagine I was the one who had to be told to unmute. This award recognises an individual who has demonstrated their passion and commitment for leading within athletics and runners. Our runner-up in this category this evening is Sandy Starling of Ham Street Run Together. Now, I had to go and find out where Ham Street was.
We're in tier 3 soon, so yeah, we're just outside of Ashford, a small village just outside of Ashford.
So I won't be going there to present your award.
No, sadly not.
So Sandy was nominated by several people, and they said she's an essential part of our isolated village, where runners have realised that a few kilometres can help their mental and physical health. Dozens have gone from coach to 5K to longer runs, including many marathons, raising thousands for charity. During the lockdown, she's kept the group together, set individual goals, coached people on what they can do, and inspired people to realise running is vital for their mental and physical health. This has included a virtual league, routes to run, advice, and much needed therapy. We couldn't do without her. Leading by example, no matter how nervous you are or ambitious you are, Sandy has a plan for you. It's inclusive, non-competitive, and effective. She's always looking for new routes and in the most beautiful countryside. No one runs alone. She supports new members with so much encouragement and confidence when starting out, especially those who have never run before, and groups of runners together to give everyone the best experience. We'll go to one-on-one if individuals are not able to fit into the group. New runners are personally messaged and advised, encouraged, and requests more experienced runners to run with newer runners for milestone distances. So, Sandy, how do you feel about that then?
It's really lovely, actually. That's really lovely to hear.
So, when I spoke to you on the phone, you told me about an annual signature event that you do. Would you like to tell everybody about that?
Is it Christmas based?
I think it was about dressing up.
Yes, we take part in the annual Folkestone Rotary Club Santa Fun Run, and they hold a largest team award and various awards, but we always go for best fancy dress. So I never tell anyone what the fancy dress is before, because you don't, the other competitors could steal our ideas, and you can't have that. So yeah, they find out about a week before. They come to running one day, and they get given, well, a few years ago it was a shower curtain turned into a Christmas present. They've been elves, they've been super Santas. It's always met with some joy and some, oh no, I'm not got to wear this, have I? But when we're designing the costumes, me and a few other runners, we always practice, can we run in this? And you find us running around the house checking that you can actually move in the costumes that we've designed and made.
So what's your socially distanced plan for this Christmas?
Yeah, we won't be taking part in any races. Yeah, no races this year for us, I'm afraid. So we're just waiting for the guidelines as to whether we can run in sixes or not down here in Kent. But last time we were allowed to run in sixes, I literally had a spreadsheet and 5 runners at a time, and I put on four or five groups a week and had 5 runners at a time, and just tried to rotate so everybody got a run in.
So that's fantastic, Sandy. Thanks very much for that.
No problem. Thank you.
I did say on the phone I'd like to try and get down there one day and go running with you, but hopefully we'll make an arrangement at some time in the future.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That'd be lovely. Thank you.
And now we can talk about the winner in this category, and the winner is Mark Matthias of Water Street Runners. Now, Mark had an impressive array of nominations from his group. They said, Mark has always made me feel like a big, very important part of his running group. Right from day one, he encouraged me to be part of it. He's encouraged me to do my Run Leaders course, which I intend to do very soon. And he's always very grateful when I am able to help him out leading a group. It's a fantastic running club and everybody is so supportive of each other. That's what it makes to make such a great running group. I don't think anybody could match his enthusiasm and dedication about running. I've never met anyone so motivated to making a difference to people's fitness and well-being. He's always raising money for charity, and he gets us involved in terms of who we'd like to support next. He's a very caring guy, and I don't know how he works full-time and still has time to do what he does for us. I can't think of anyone more deserving of this award. I may not feel like running sometimes or had enough, and he knows how to get you to go further and get out there, and you start feeling amazing afterwards. He has time for everyone and always talks to us, gives us ideas, and is very motivational. Even when not running, he'll always post online and tell us about virtual races and makes the impossible seem possible. On every run I've completed on Strava, he always likes and makes a comment. So if you feel good about yourself and want to carry on. Mark is always there to help with any questions. You can always speak to him at the group or message him and he'll always get back to you. Mark puts regular updates on the Waterside Runners page and helps us all keep up to date. Mark motivates, supports and encourages the group. He can adapt his approach to make sure all abilities are supported. Until 9 weeks ago, I've never run before. With Mark taking the time with me, I'm now running at least 3 miles. Without Mark, I wouldn't be doing this. He stayed at the back with me and encouraged me to keep going when I wanted to give up. Mark is liked by everybody and is missed if he's not able to be at the group. Congratulations, Mark. I'm looking forward to joining your group for a run one day and meeting you and your group in person. I think we've got a little video about you now.
My name's Pauline Kelsey and I would like to nominate Mark Matthias for the award evening. I've known Mark for a year and a half now and I've never met anybody as passionate about running as Mark. Mark gets satisfaction from helping people and knows their strengths and their abilities to make you feel that you can achieve anything. I nominated Mark as he's really helped with my running, and if it wasn't for Mark I don't think I'd be running at all. I got my personal best through Mark. And he just always thinks of others and not himself. He's pushed me to run 10k runs, 5-mile runs, which I never thought I would ever be able to do. And I've got so many medals now, again all thanks to Mark, because he encourages us to enter races, raise money for charity. He always comments on Strava and Facebook, always. I don't know where he gets the time. And I've never met anybody, like I say, as passionate about running as Mark. And I can't think of anybody else who deserves this more than Mark. So good luck, Mark. Hope to see you soon. Bye.
Hi there, Mark. I'm just waiting for Mark to sort his mute button out.
Hello. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, that's great. So how do you feel about that award then, Mark?
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed, that's really good.
Yeah. I've lost words.
So when I spoke to you on the phone, you told me that some days you went out running twice a day and did more than one session so you could get your groups of 6 in to get their runs in.
Yes, yeah. After work as well. It's quite challenging. And I felt I had to do it because I wanted to help everyone. It only seemed, trying to balance everything out to keep everyone motivated, help and support everyone. Obviously, with restrictions, with the lockdown and everything, it's quite hard. So, I went ahead and I thought I'd give it a go.
So, Mark, would you like to tell everybody where Waterside Runners, isn't it Waterside or Water Street? I might have made a mistake there.
Waterside Runners, yeah, we're on the waterside edge of the New Forest. It's obviously on the waterside across from Southampton.
So another thing you told me, Mark, was that, and correct me if I'm wrong here, it was as a result of a broken foot that you got into Waterside Runners. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. It was quite challenging. I broke my foot, I think it was the end of June, July, and I had to do the Great South. I was running off for cancer research at the time, and yeah, I'd done it. I took another colleague with me who was injured most of the summer, and I supported her around, and we completed the 10 miles. That was the first time I'd run 10 miles as well. It was quite challenging, and everyone was saying to me, you know, that's amazing, you know, what you've done. I mean, you know, you've motivated a lot of people to carry on running when they wanted to give up. Why don't you start something yourself? And I thought, well, okay, I'll look into it. Done all the research I needed, and waited until a course came up after Christmas, and I went ahead and booked it, and here we are.
And I think you just initiated everything just before the country got locked down as well. So
yeah, we done 2 training sessions, and then we went into lockdown. And then I thought, oh, how do we get out of this and go through it? Kept everyone motivated. Done some virtual challenges online. Kept everyone posted, you know, with updates and everything. And it was, you know, it was great to see so many people waiting to come back. And yeah, I've gone from strength to strength.
I think your next challenge, Mark, is to challenge Sandy to a fancy dress off at her Santa 5K in 2021.
Definitely.
All right, yeah. Where's that?
He's down in Ashford.
Sorry?
He's in Ashford in Kent.
All right, well, it's probably the distance. I'm sure we'll be able to do something virtual or something.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we can put you in touch with each other if you want to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic, Mark. It's really good to hear from you, and Sandy as well. And as I said to you on the phone, I'm going to try and make my way down there so we can go for a run with you sometime.
Yes, I have told the group, and then obviously looking forward to it and myself. Thank you very much. Much appreciated for everything.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we're moving back to Tom Easton, who's going to present our next award.
Good evening. Yes, it's me again. Back already. Our next award is Run Together Group of the Year. This award recognises a Run Together group that provides friendly, supportive and welcoming group running opportunities in their community. And the runner-up in this category is, here it comes, Crawley Run Crew. Congratulations and well done. One runner spoke of their pride to be part of Crawley Run Crew, saying the group supports everyone and never leaves anyone behind. There was also praise for the way junior runners have been challenged, earning medals for their hard work. This year, CRC have added more run leaders to their ranks, which in turn has allowed a wider variety of sessions to be offered and more members to be supported. It's been described as an all-inclusive group where everyone can run at their own pace in an environment of support and encouragement. Now, I think we've got some representatives with us tonight from CRC.
Hi, Tom. Hi, everybody.
Hi, this is hi Shelley. Good to see you. I think we had Mark as well, but he's got technical difficulties.
Yeah, he has. He's
So
got camera
it's just
issues
you
this evening, I think. So you're stuck with me. Hopefully,
well,
I can.
You can hear us anyway. So
yeah, hopefully I can represent on behalf of us. But it's a shame he's not on the video.
What is it about CRC that's special for you?
I think that when Mark and I and a small group of friends started this club back in 2016, we really founded it on the basis of it really being all ability, and never leaving anybody behind. And the comments, I'm not sure who it was that nominated us, but those comments I think are testament to that. And it's kind of, heartwarming that that's how our members see us, and that we've sort of stayed true to our roots of really wanting to be able to bring people and train with people and run with people, that whether they're running a 6-minute mile or a 16-minute mile, we pride ourselves on doing our absolute best to provide sessions and activities for runners. That means they can all run with each other, and support them in that way. So it was really nice to hear.
That really came through in the nomination, that there was a really great spirit among the group and a really supportive kind of atmosphere.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that this is testament to our run leaders. Like the nominator said, we've added some more run leaders in the past year. We're planning to add some more as soon as we can moving forwards, just so that we can deal with the capacity. The demand for sessions is probably, it's never been higher from our members, and we've been able to put on sessions all across the week, which normally we wouldn't have done that before. So we've really changed the way we train to try and provide for our members, and that's testament to the brilliant volunteers that we've got as run leaders and coaches that are giving up their time to make this happen. And I'm sure that's happening across the country.
Well, it sounds like you're doing great stuff, and amazing. Congratulations again, and do keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us. Moving on to the winner in this category, which is, I'm sure we'll get that on the screen anytime soon. Have we got the winner coming up, or is that just my screen that I can't see it?
I think it's just your screen, Tom. So yeah, go ahead and announce the winner.
Just my screen. So the winner that you can probably see is Run Together West Berkshire. I can't see that.
Yes.
But, I'm gonna take your word for it. Starting as a small group 5 years ago, with the ambition to improve people's lifestyles through activity, West Berkshire Run Together has gone from strength to strength in the years since. A very inclusive group, WBRT has young runners alongside those in their 70s, with members of all age groups supporting each other through conversation and getting to know each other on the runs. New runners are welcomed and supported by a buddy system of existing members, enabling friendship groups to form so people can be supported and helped when they need it. There is an openness to the group, with members encouraged to bring along family, friends, and I hear even dogs to see what. There's an effective liaison with the local council to provide funding and guidance to help promote the group and attract new runners through social media. And the group has expanded tremendously, both in terms of membership and in run leaders volunteering. It's a great success story and shows what can be achieved by volunteers coming together in their community. And I think we now have a video of Run Together West Berkshire that we can show you. Great. Here I think we've got Sue Bennett with us from WBRT. Sue, you might need to unmute. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Hi. Wow.
It was a wonderful video.
Wow.
Such great words as well in the nominations that we had. It seems like you've come such a long way in 5 years. Well, what's your secret?
We've come a huge long way in 5 years. I mean, we started with a couple of groups with a couple of runners that just dipped their toes into what we were doing, into what we have now, which is, an amazing amount of sessions. We've got about 19 run leader volunteers. We've got 7 more coming along, having done their training. The secret is, I think, that if all of those pictures show everybody is smiling, they enjoy the groups, they enjoy the supportive nature, and what we do, and the friendliness of it all. It's just it's just brilliant.
Yeah, you can see that. Such a great atmosphere among everyone.
Yeah. And because we're, because we are inclusive, and there was we have runners in their 70s, we have runners in their teens, and they run alongside each other. And you don't get that very often, that sort of supportive age groups. And as well as running, people are giving advice, offloading.
Yeah, it looks like a wonderful,
fantastic. It's yeah.
And what's in the plan for next year? What have you got next for us?
Oh well,
onwards and upwards.
Definitely onwards and upwards. We always have we have challenges that we look at. We've got another challenge that we're going to do in the run up to Christmas. We did some brilliant challenges through lockdown that kept everybody motivated. All of the run leaders keep WhatsApp groups and keep their sessions motivated and doing things. We've kept to our, as soon as we could, we came back to our groups of 6. We've continued with buddy running, and now hopefully we'll get back to our groups of 6 again. But it's just about keep going, just keep that support going. There is, we run, yes we do, but there is more to it than just the running. There is more to it that keeps people engaged and mentally and physically. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, well, you're doing such a great job, and keep it up. And it's so lovely to hear from you tonight. But very well done. Congratulations, Sue.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Well done again. So congratulations to all of our winners there. And I'm now going to hand over to Alan Williams, who's going to present the next award for us.
Hi, well, good evening, everybody. Our next award is for the Athletics or Running Club of the Year. This award recognises both the achievements of a club as well as demonstrating ongoing commitment and passion through the opportunities they've given to everyone involved in the club over the past 12 months. And we'll announce first our runner-up. And our runner-up is Mole Valley Runners. So congratulations to Mole Valley Runners. I'll just read through their excellent citation. So in the words of their nominees, Mole Valley Runners is such a special club. We attract runners who don't think they can be, but would like to find out, right through to 100-mile and regular marathon runners. The club is filled with the hearts of those that have joined and want to make it a special place, celebrating success, no matter how big or small. This year, our club rallied during the COVID lockdown, creating a series of team games through the Wheel of Doom and individual runs each week. Points were collated and celebrated. We also had a series of virtual runs around kitchen units and gardens in fancy dress, where one member donated his own medals as specific prizes. We had teams in Top Gun, Batman, and also 80s disco gear filming their successes, as well as offering a broad timetable of runs, long and short, road or trail, plodding or more experience in different locations. What makes this club special is the care that goes into the health and well-being of members. Throughout lockdown, this team, along with some of the run leaders, devised innovative and inclusive ways of keeping everyone involved and engaged. There were challenges to suit everyone, and teams were created and rotated so everyone had a chance to experience different teammates and results. Not everyone has a family around them, and lockdown could have been a lonely place for some. But this group reached out and made everyone feel part of something fun. Running around our houses or gardens became the new norm. This is a very special team. So congratulations, Mole Valley. And I think we should have Debbie and Paula there to speak to us. Is that? So we have Debbie and Paula.
Hiya.
You can hear Debbie and
Hiya.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, congratulations both. I mean, that's a lovely story. What do you think's been the secret of your success?
I don't know. We've kind of become a bit like a family, really. We've grown rapidly. We've grown really quite big. We're very prominent in our local area. But it's just full of heart. Everyone appreciates what running does for each other, and it's that whole non-judgmental, you can run side by side with someone and tell them anything and it stays on the run, and that's it, and it's lightens a load, and people find that really refreshing. It doesn't matter that you're, whatever pace you run, because we started with 3 runners. Paula was one of them. She's now membership secretary, and we have people running, like you said, 100 milers and some. We just encourage, no matter what pace. We don't talk about pace, but we encourage people to achieve things that they never thought they would.
If you look at your website, what is my second question really? And I think you could teach other clubs this is you've got bigger and you cover a whole range, and the work you did during lockdown is fantastic. But how have you managed to retain the club being so inclusive?
I don't know. I don't know how it's really sort of happened that way, but I know from very early on when we started, we had a lot of people that were very nervous. You get people close to tears trying to join a group. They weren't confident joining a group. And no matter who was there, and I've always encouraged with all the leaders that you always welcome. It doesn't matter who they are. It's not about us. It's about the people who come to those runs. And it sort of has just been fostered by everybody else, really. I don't know if Paula agrees, but everyone takes on that approach. We're just very welcoming, and like I say, it doesn't matter who you are. You're part of the gang. And that's
Paula,
it, really, from day one.
You got involved in the administration of it as well then. So how's that been? How have you found your experience with Mole Valley?
I founded it because I've got a business locally, fitness business, so I was coaching anyway. And over lockdown has been challenging, I won't lie. It's been up till midnight sometimes dealing with safeguarding issues, things that are posted on the page. We have to be very careful. There's been some very sensitive topics that we've had to deal with. So mental health, I'm an ex-mental health nurse, so that was always my focus, is about looking after the well-being of our members. And we're very quick to make sure that if we notice anything within the group, if someone needs support, that we reach out and we're there for them. But that meant that we were round the clock, sort of working quite a lot. So, our volunteers are just wonderful. They really are.
Okay, well, thank you, Mole Valley. That's a lovely story. And now, if I may, I'll get on to the winner of our the category for Club of the Year. And if we can show you the winner. And the winner is Guernsey Athletics Club. And I have to declare an interest because I wasn't involved in any of the selection or anything, but I am from Guernsey, and we're fortunate we can continue to see each other. We don't have isolation issues. So we've actually got I'll be actually physically handing over the trophy in a moment, which is very exciting. But let me just read to you the citation for the club. So we've all been impacted in recent times, but over the past 6 months, Guernsey Athletics Club has been through the full process of lockdown to near full activity in a professional, inclusive and forward-thinking approach from participation through to elite level. The club had the advantage of Guernsey Island moving quickly from lockdown to near normality, but equally this meant it having to deal with some of the safety and distancing requirements in advance of nationwide guidance. The club has provided for all sectors of the island's athletics community, from staging its own virtual races to some of the first post-lockdown track and field fixtures, from individually coached sessions to socially distanced groups, from participation trail races to elite level track and field. For example, Ala Chalmers, an under-20 athlete achieving a sub-50-second 400-metre hurdles. At the same time, it's involved itself in a major initiative to massively increase its officiating numbers, looking ahead towards the upcoming staging of the Island Games in Guernsey. The club stages a large number of events to UKA run-written licensing standards, probably more than most mainland-based clubs. It also provides financial support for coaches and officials, education to further levels, a volunteer league system where volunteers pick up points towards prizes such as the London Marathon Place or sports kits, vouchers, etc. During the lockdown, the club established an innovative and successful approach to maintaining athletics activity through lockdown initiatives, from one-to-one sessions to a solo running programme, and supporting web page that not only maintained but even increased the number getting involved in local club level athletics. And we have a video to show you of what we did during lockdown.
So here with Kirsten, Michelle, Tracy, Linda and Ben, who've done various things today. What do you do when you officiate on the track itself?
So I'm a track official, so anything that is involved in either positioning or looking for infringements on the track. And at the minute I'm still on my level 1, working towards my level 2.
Where did you do your training?
I did the initial training in Guernsey, and I've also been over to the Hampshire Championships to get some more experience of a larger championships.
Okay, well, the training on Guernsey, did you have to pay for that at all? How was that arranged?
No, the club funded it. It was a 2-day training. Some of the UK officials came over to train a group of us.
I'm level 3 field official, level 2 track.
Okay, and do you know, because you've got some handle on how many local officials we've got, how many active officials have we got currently?
At the minute we've got 23 very active officials who also help out with endurance today as well. We're all track and field, but we love our endurance too.
Yeah. I'm field official. I help out with the endurance as well, just for fun, but I mainly do the field officiating, so the jumping and throwing competitions.
Okay, and how many years have you been doing that for?
4 years now. So yeah, I'm level 2 still, because I would have to go over to Hampshire to get my level 3.
Yeah, I'm a runner as well as an official. I felt that I saw the number of volunteers doing the endurance and I wanted to help out in some way, but being a runner I thought, well, can I help the club out in a different way? And so when the chance to do the course, it's a great way to sort of help out and feel like you're giving back. So I think we get a lot out of the club.
Tom with us, Tom Juice. We're very fortunate in our club to have a professional development officer, and Tom very much saw us through the difficulties with COVID. So in fact, we can't do this elsewhere, but I can hand over to your award, Tom.
Thank you very much, Alan.
So I think we fist pump still rather than shake hands. But so Tom, tell us, we have had a different experience in Guernsey with COVID, but what did we have to do in terms of maintaining our club's activities throughout?
Yeah, obviously we still went through a process as happens on the mainland as well, but we were able to navigate through that because our states made a decision to essentially close the borders. So we basically had the opportunity to actually move back to hosting events and getting back to sort of club activity a lot sooner than anyone else has been able to do. So the real challenge really was just ensuring that we stayed within the guidelines, same as mainland clubs are having to do now. And I think we managed to navigate it quite well. It's sort of the blind leading the blind a little bit, really, isn't it? So yeah, and then obviously we managed to come out the other side and had a great summer.
Yeah. I mean, talk a bit about the summer. I mean, although we couldn't get off the island to compete, it was, our athletes say it was exceptional because we just had, you did organise such a great track and field programme for us.
We did. We were very lucky that a lot of the athletes managed to retain their fitness through lockdown, and a lot of the kids got back into it a lot better than we probably expected as well when the season did start. And of course, as we've alluded to in that video we've just seen, our officials team was straight back on board and managing to put in a really comprehensive track and field program, and we had some road racing going on and stuff as well. So it's been pretty busy, but very successful.
Okay, what we are going to do, everybody, is because we're in a position to meet. We've got a couple of minutes where I've got with me Sarah and Tom, who are two athletes from Guernsey. They've gone through. We can compete as an island in the Commonwealth Games, and both Sarah and Tom have done exactly that. And so we are going to just take a few minutes to chat to them as some of our top athletes. And first, again, Tom, just come back to you about, this is about volunteers. You've had a fantastic career. Could you ever, or how much did volunteers play a role in helping you achieve that, all your career highlights?
Yeah, absolutely. I was a bit generous calling me a current athlete there, Alan, to be fair. But no, absolutely right. I think when we're coming through at school age, we can see, you probably don't appreciate when you're a child coming through how much these people are giving up. So then kind of now in retrospect, you can kind of look back and I think it's true that you do have fond memories of certain coaches who helped you along the way when you're in school, even the officials who were setting up the events and stuff as well. And even for myself, actually, when I was running at my best, I was based in the UK, but my coach was a volunteer coach. He wasn't paid. And so even when I was going to Commonwealth Games and running 46 seconds for the 400 meters, all of that was down to this volunteer coach. So yeah, absolutely. It absolutely wouldn't have been where I got to if it hadn't been for them.
And Sarah, well, again, I can remember both these guys when they were sort of 7 or 8 years old. And well, your dad coached, as well, didn't he? He was a coach for years with us. But again, I imagine, I can think of all the people who coached you, helped you get through to the Commonwealth Games. What was their influence, do you feel?
Well, obviously, without the volunteers, we wouldn't have been able to go to the club. There wouldn't have been a club to go to. And I think you, as Tom said, you don't really appreciate when you're young how much time they're putting in to come down and take sessions and give you that extra support. So for me, obviously, I probably wouldn't be in the sport without all of those people. And there's a lot of different coaches and volunteers that have helped me over the years, but I wouldn't have been able to continue in the sport without them.
And was your highlight the Commonwealth Games, Glasgow?
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. Obviously, we're very lucky that we have the opportunity to go and compete at a competition like that, and it was a really great experience. Again, something I was really lucky to be able to do.
And Tom, just to wind up, just thinking about this, I saw some of the comments were on how lovely and blue our track was, which it is. We're very proud of our track. But actually, I mean, once we get back to normality, we've got some plans for some pretty major track and field events, and we've got things like our Easter Road running events. We have lots of people coming over for. I mean, what kind of let's plug ourselves and give them a bit of an invite to come over to some of our events.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we were fortunate to host. We actually had, as you'll both remember, the England junior team came over to an event we had. I think it was 2018. It seems a long time ago now. So we've hosted England athletics teams before, and I think yeah, absolutely, we'd look to do that again. And and as you've alluded to there, anyone's welcomed if they want to jump on a plane, and when you're allowed to jump on a plane and come over. And yeah, it'd be good to welcome as many people over to experience the island as possible.
Okay, well, and just from Guernsey, can we just say thanks? We are so well supported by England Athletics and our region, so thank you very much. And now we'll hand back to Keith, who's going to introduce our next award.
Keith, you're just on mute at the moment. Keith, I don't know if you can hear me. There we go. Well done.
Thank you, Alan, and well done to Guernsey. Our next award is for the Coach of the Year. This award recognises an individual who has demonstrated their passion and commitment for coaching within athletics and running. And the runner-up in this category is Andy Hughes. Andy is a very popular coach with over 50 athletes coached to his credit, and very successful from juniors to seniors and veteran coaching, able and disabled athletes up to national and international level. He organises flying coaching sessions and network sessions for his athletes and loves his role at Bracknell. He is also a top flight official travelling around the country, officiating and supporting his athletes. He always goes the extra mile for the athletes. He's very caring and organises. His nominator said, Andy Hughes, the most modest and humble of magicians, who for over 20 years has cast a spell on those entering the throwing circle. As a coach, he has created a fun yet hard-working environment where he supports each athlete with the same enthusiasm, empathy, and understanding, regardless of their ability, age, experience, background, or disability. Athletes thrive, often achieving success at a level far beyond their own expectations, while all acquire invaluable life skills, enabling them to become confident, hard-working, respectful individuals. And is a totally selfless, giving his time and knowledge so generously for the benefit of others. Not yet retired, he devotes many hours each week, coaching, officiating, listening, advising, attending meetings, and so much more. He is always thinking about other people, ensuring that their experience of athletics is a positive one. Quietly proud of all the athletes he coaches, he never acknowledges his own contribution to their success. Andy, hello, congratulations.
Hello, Keith. Thank you very much. Thank you.
What gives you the most reward coaching your training group? You have a large group there to coach.
It's just seeing them improve, really. It's and having the getting them to have a belief in themselves that they actually can achieve at their own levels. That's for me the biggest reward.
Yeah.
Great believing that everybody can achieve at their own levels.
Yeah. So your aim is to get the best out of everyone.
Oh, without doubt. Yeah.
Their ability.
Yeah, without that. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Well, thank you very much, Andy, and congratulations again.
Well, thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks everybody. Thank you.
Now we come on to the winner, and the winner is Bob Willows. Bob is a great coach in the world of javelin throwing, a big part of Brighton and Hove's successful athletes, and also a javelin guru for the academy. He has had 3 English schools winners and 2 schools internationals. With over 40 athletes to his credit, not just javelin, but other throwing events as well, and was a thrower himself. He took a 12-year break to bring his family up before continuing his athletic career. His heroes are Alan Shearer, Sugai Bubka, and the great Al Urta. Such an inspiration for all those he coaches and also his fellow coaches. This award is very well deserved, and long may he continue coaching. Well done, Bob, you're a star. We now have a video to play of Bob.
Good evening, I'm Lizzie Korzak. I'm the athlete who nominated Bob for this award, so I thought I'd start this video really quickly with some clips sent in by other athletes from the training group.
Thank you for giving us sweets twice a week. You've helped me a lot, helped me get to British record. Yeah, and thank you for being there.
When you throw badly, he still coaches you, he still pushes you to the limit so you can throw better next time. And I find that's what I really like about Bob, and that's why he's such a good coach.
Improved so much thanks to him. He puts in so much time and effort to our sessions and our conditioning,
which is amazing since he's a volunteer, always believed in me even when I didn't believe in myself. Bob is an insane coach.
Even though he's strict and works us hard, we can joke around with him and have fun, and that's part of the reason I really always look forward to training, because I know that even though it will be hard, I'll always really enjoy it.
Bob joined the athletics club when he was 15 back in 1968, which, just to put into a little bit of context, is the year my mum was born. And I'm 17 now, so Bob has been doing this for a long time. He's put in a huge effort over the years. He's been into throwing since he started. He's done all the throws events. Favourite memory that I have with Bob is the first year I won English schools, and I turned around and I just saw this huge smile come across his face. It was absolutely amazing. And just to see how much it meant to him that we had got that far together and we'd put all that hard work in and it had paid off. And he bought me an ice cream afterwards to say well done, and every year someone's got a medal, he's bought them an ice cream. And it's just an amazing moment that we share with him, and he cares so much, and I think it's so evident. On behalf of every athlete that's ever been coached by Bob, is being coached by him currently or will be in the future, from the bottom of our hearts, I just want to say a huge thank you. Not only are you a phenomenal coach, but you're also an amazing friend who cares about us. Thank you.
Hi, Bob. Congratulations. I'm glad you spend your money wisely buying ice creams for your athletes. It's like a just reward. You've never bought me one yet.
Well, you're not one of my athletes, Keith.
How have you? You've got a large group of athletes you've coached. How have you coped with during the pandemic this year? I know
because I'm secretary at Brighton, I was ready as soon as lockdown came. I popped into the track before we'd been closed down, stole every bit of training gear I could, spread it amongst the group, and then told them what to do, gave them all their list of effort training to do. When lockdown was eased a bit and they could get out and about, they were sending me videos of what they were doing, and I give them feedback. And then when we could get together again, we started training. We couldn't go to the track because that was closed, so we went to a place called Waterhall at the base of Brighton, which is a huge park where we're out of everybody's way. And we did a couple of virtual meetings there. We marked out a proper throw-in area, so we've done it properly. And then the kids just kept working.
Well, that's good, and obviously it was unfortunate they didn't have much chance of competition this year, but presumably they're working hard this winter, ready for next year.
Well, this is what we said when lockdown came, that obviously 2020 is going to be basically a no year. So we said really this year, all the work we put in now will see us good for 2021.
Yeah. Well,
but they even when we did start coming back again, the kids were, because of all the hard work they put in, they were ready to compete. Liz had a terrific performance at Lee Valley, which got her an invite to the national championships at Manchester, where she was the youngest competitor there. Dulcie, who broke the British under-13 record last year, still managed to do she was under 13 last year. This year's her first year under 15, and she set an under 13-year age group British record. So, and that's in her first year. So I have some very talented athletes. They're all very hard workers. They all want to work, which is the main thing. I try to encourage them as much as I can. There's a rule that you only get applause if you've earned it. And they know if I give them a clap or a well done, it's because they've done that, not just because it's, trying to keep them happy.
And I hear you're well known for your bad jokes.
Terrible jokes. PC doesn't come into it.
Thank you very much, Bob. And
thank you very much, and thank you to everybody.
Congratulations to both our coaches there. And now I'd like to hand over to Alan Vincent for the next two awards.
Thank you, Keith. Good evening, everybody. It's a great pleasure to be taking part in this awards event. I'm presenting for a couple of categories, and the first of these is for the Official of the Year. This award recognises an enthusiastic official who makes a brilliant contribution to athletics in their local area club or region. And the runner-up in this category is James Charles. James is 24/7 when it comes to Banbury Harriers AC and his support for County Athletics in Oxfordshire. The club is almost totally driven by James and the club chairman, and he plays a major role in club administration, team management, and the sourcing of officials, as well as track management and maintenance. For the past 5 years, he has helped progress the club into having a larger county role, especially in officiating. He helps and pushes parents and coaches to become trained as an official. He also encourages teenage athletes to volunteer and become leaders in athletics. He's a qualified coach in jumps and multi-qualified as an official, including a level 3 for field and a level 2 starter and starter's assistant. He's very active as an official for his own club, across the county, and for the county itself. James will go to any length to help and do his best for everybody that he meets. And it is very widely appreciated that he is always willing to officiate in whatever role he is most needed. I know that James' recognition here this evening will be very popular with all who know him across our region. Hello, James.
Evening, Alan.
Good evening. James, you put so much into the sport. What is it that really drives you to do all that you do?
For good or bad, I can't stand at the side and watch somebody else do something. Athletics is a little bit like trying to escape from a black hole. And when I see someone else that needs a hand, I'm generally one of the first to step forward. Gets me into trouble sometimes by committing to do too much. But thankfully, there are several people at the club who do a good job of pulling me back and telling me that I can't be both starter and a track judge on the same day at the same meeting. So that's generally what does it.
Sounds about right. And how have you been coping during the COVID period with the whole business of keeping the club and the officials and all its activities on track?
We were going fairly well. Unfortunately, the track is in the confines of local school, as well, you know. So that just added to the rules and the hurdles that we had to jump over to continue to be able to offer the provision of coaching the normal way that we would. Some of the coaches were unable to come back for whatever reason, which made it a little bit awkward. Some of us having to step up to the mark and take over some of the other groups. But generally, we've been okay until the current lockdown. We've struggled with competitions within the county, but hopefully, with a view in sight, we'll be back to as much competing as we can possibly squeeze in next summer.
I think we're all hoping that. Thanks very much indeed, James, and well done again.
Thank you.
And moving on to the winner in this category, and the winner in this category is Chris Parkinson. Well, I'm not sure I know of anyone who puts more into our sport than Chris. He's a keen club man and a generous and successful pole vault coach, but it is as an official that he makes his most extensive contribution. He's a level 4 in both timekeeping and photo finish. In 2012, he initiated the setting up of a joint Buckinghamshire and Oxfordshire photo finish system. And he's since developed that system into one of the best and most reliable in the country. Do I hear anyone heckling out there, suggesting vested interest on my part? I happen to be the bookings manager for that system. But genuinely, Chris has done an enormous job with building up that system. He's one of the leading technical photo finish operators in the UK. He's a tutor for both timekeeping and photo finish at all levels, and he regularly mentors those wishing to progress. He's inspired many young officials by introducing them to these disciplines and encouraging them to progress to the highest levels. Chris is involved with all areas of our sport. He's committed on a regular basis to all the disability athletics events at Stoke Mandeville, to schools meetings at all levels, including the English Schools Championships, indoor sprint open meetings at Eton, and middle distance open meetings at Watford. With the British Universities and Colleges Championships and Masters events, he's been overseeing seeding and results for all of their major competitions for many years. He often takes a lead in seeding or results at regional level, and he provides systems integration from entries through to seeding, photo finish and results, all this right up to national level. In conclusion, I'd like to just quote a few comments from the chair of the Southern Officials Group, Barbara Abbott, herself a very senior official. Barbara says, "Chris has been a great inspiration to me on my journey through to level 4 photo finish judge and peer group member. He's always been incredibly patient while I learn and understand the operations and setup of photo finish. During the COVID period, Chris has not been able to attend any of the meetings that have taken place, but he has shown his continued commitment to our sport by working at home to improve processes and make recommendations for the systems we use. He has acted as technical support remotely for many of the meetings that have taken place, and he continues to develop the Joint Counties photo finish kit for when we are able to start regular meetings again." And this is back to me. Chris goes about everything he does in a most unassuming and modest manner, never seeking the limelight or looking for recognition. It gives me huge pleasure to see this award go to Chris Parkinson. And I now believe we have a video to play.
Hi everybody, my name is Mark Delgado and I'm a level 4 photo finish official based in Wickham in South Buckinghamshire. I want to talk to you today a little bit about Chris Parkinson. I've known Chris for about 15 years and personally I have a lot to thank him for, as he's the reason I'm in the sport as an official and as a photo finish official more specifically. In normal non-COVID times, Chris spends a huge amount of his time on the road taking the Oxfordshire and Buckinghamshire photo finish system around the country. Chris has owned and developed the system pretty much single-handedly now for about 15 years. When he started, photo finish was less widely used than it is today, and his mission was to bring a higher quality of competition to the grassroots of the sport. Chris is a highly qualified official and has officiated at the highest level, but for as long as I've known him, his real enjoyment and what gives him the most reward is turning up to what are sometimes pretty low-key local events, expertly setting up, getting cameras online, and then running photo finish for the day, often on his own, and giving the athletes of whatever standard the opportunity to perform and have their finishing positions and times taken accurately and made available on the para 10. As setup is normally 2 hours and takedown about an hour, he's invariably the first to the track and the last one to leave for home. All this work is undertaken professionally and expertly, but always modestly. Chris doesn't look for personal accolades or rewards. His satisfaction comes from the completion of a successful event, a job well done, and one thing I haven't mentioned so far, which is bringing on new or lesser experienced officials. Chris genuinely wants to spread the use of photo finish within athletics as widely as possible, and is always encouraging newcomers to come and help him at an event, patiently walking them through how things work, how to capture and read races, before encouraging them to give it a try. I know this firsthand, as that's the trick that got me hooked. As well as his work on photo finish, Chris also works hard behind the scenes supporting a range of athletics organisations. Masters Athletics and BUCS, that's the British Universities and Colleges, have for a long time relied on Chris for their competition management and results systems, and he has spearheaded a real modernisation of these functions for these organisations. While COVID might have given Chris some time back in the summer, he has continued to work for the benefit of athletics in the region, albeit remotely, at a number of events by either reading photo finish races or working with the open track competition management system over the internet. He's also kept his eye in on new developments in photo finish technology generally, and has kept us all up to speed on new advancements with photo finish link software through the summer. All in all, Due to Chris's dedication and hard work, I'm convinced he has been responsible for helping raise the bar of photo finish officiating, certainly in the South. I don't think it's too much of an exaggeration to say that with the ever-increasing demand from athletes and coaches for electronic timing, plenty of grassroots meetings that have taken place and continue to take place in this region couldn't and wouldn't happen without Chris. He is the definition of an unsung hero.
I know you're embarrassed, Chris.
It just doesn't sound like you're describing me, that's all. It's
always difficult to hear such praise, but I know it's genuinely meant, you know, from a working colleague. It's great to hear. It's a nice tribute from Mark. Chris, we've worked together for a number of years, but I actually don't know how it all started for you. And as a subset to that question, what is the link between pole vault and photo finish?
Yes. When you say it started with my son deciding that he wanted to do athletics. He wanted to run. That was all he wanted to do, was to run. And one meeting that I went to, we were docked points because we didn't have a timekeeper. So I decided there and then that we weren't ever going to get docked points again at a meeting because we didn't have a timekeeper. So I took up timekeeping. Due course, Ian, my son, decided that he'd like to take up pole vault. This was some years ago, and we could, at that time, count the number of pole vault coaches on one hand in the country. So if he was going to progress, there was only one thing for it, I had to take up pole vault coaching. So I took up pole vault coaching and ran that alongside just about with the timekeeping. And then photo finish came along. Now, my trade, my background is in electronics. And so photo finish was immediate sort of draw for me. So I took up learning about photo finish, and that grew on me. I've now been able to pass over the coaching of most of my athletes to my son. So I'm now free to do even more, to do the photo finish more, but there's no actual link between the two other than that sequence of events.
Right, thanks for that. Yeah, I just don't think even those relatively close to you realise how much time you do spend tinkering in that garage.
Well, yes. I'm allowed to come out occasionally and move the equipment elsewhere, but my garden looked quite funny in the summer with clocks here and wind gauges there and a camera here, but it was all a case of trying to make sure we, kept something going, and it was fun.
What about the breadth of your interest? I mean, masters, student stuff, schools. How do you explain that wide-reaching interest?
It doesn't worry me which group of athletes you're working with. We're there to provide them with the best quality of timekeeping that we can, and they just, all of them deserve it. And so it doesn't. You can be under 13s or under 11s just doing your first meeting, or you can be an 80 or 90-year-old in the Masters, and anything in between. But it's good to watch them coming through, and you often see pick-up people coming through, and you just watch them progress.
I think you may have just answered my last question, which was going to be about what gives you the biggest buzz of all.
Biggest buzz is to see how people develop. If you can just make a little contribution to how they actually progress, and start them off when beginning and see them progress and gaining confidence and just get better. That gives me that's what I really enjoy.
Can't ask for anything more. Thanks so much, Chris, and congratulations to both James and Chris.
Yes, congratulations, James.
Yeah, they are known to each other. Congratulations to both of you, and now you stay with me as we go on to our next award, which is for the Young Volunteer of the Year. This category recognises the efforts and achievement of a young volunteer aged 14 to 25 who is making significant contributions to their local club, area or region. And the runner-up in this category is Alex Gertine. Alex joined the Epsom and Ewell Harriers in 1999 when he was aged just 11. He has Asperger's syndrome, so when he first joined, I don't think he'd mind me saying that he didn't like talking to others, rather stood by himself, listened intently, but put everything into his athletics. And over the years, he started to socialise more and became more integrated into the training groups. Within the training groups, he became more confident in encouraging others, demonstrating drills and organising the ability within the group. He was encouraged to start his coaching path, and in 2019, he gained his coaching assistant qualification. With that qualification, he now leads his own group of 12 under-15s, whilst always seeking knowledge and guidance from his supervisory coach to make sure his group can progress and experience different technical events. He also helps out on another evening with the years 5 and 6, where he is now fully confident in explaining and demonstrating. And he also covers for the adult endurance session when needed. The club has several athletes on the autistic spectrum, and when they see how Alex has progressed and grown, it certainly helps give them the determination to succeed. Alex is not afraid to talk about the youngster he used to be and where he is now. Athletics has given him the drive, confidence and belief that he can succeed. His parents have thanked the club for providing a supportive environment for Alex to develop in. He's an awesome athlete in his own right and will also put his hand up to fill in any gaps in the track and field team sheet, and he's a great asset to the team. Alex Gertine. Hi, Alex.
Hello, Alan. Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you, even at distance.
Yes, you too.
Just a few questions. It sounds like quite a success story. Can you say a bit about what Epsom and Ewell Harriers means to you?
Well, it's a very big part of my life. I've been there for 11 years now, and throughout my childhood, throughout my development as an athlete, and more recently as a coach, it's a major part of my life. I dedicate a lot of time to training and coaching. I do a lot of running, a lot of cycling, and it's very motivating for me. And it's been nice in the last 2 or 3 years to get into coaching. I found it very rewarding. I have a group of about 12 under 13s, under 15s that I coach every Tuesday night. And they're a great group of runners. They're really dedicated to running. They enjoy it. And yeah, I'm really glad that I've been doing the coaching.
And how do you see the future for yourself in the club, and how will you develop further, do you think?
Well, in terms of a runner, I'd like to continue scoring for the club, doing track events, middle distance, cross country. That's my that's my disciplines. And as a coach, I'd like to perhaps one day get my full coaching license. But in the meantime, continue coaching, continue with the groups I've got. I find it extremely enjoyable, and I hope to continue doing so.
It certainly seems as if you picked up some very important motivational skills along the way. Well, just finally, is there anyone in particular that you'd like to thank tonight?
I would like to thank a number of people, in particular Diana Norman, who is really has been great for me. Always there for advice. I can always ask her questions, and Di lets me set the sessions and but if I need any advice, she's there. But it's a variety of coaches. I mean, the people that were there throughout my development as a runner, there were several. You know, going from a 11, 12-year-old who was finishing at the back of races to getting on with the training and improving. There's quite a few coaches there that gave up their time so that we could improve as runners, and I'll always be extremely grateful for them.
Thanks for that. That's great.
Thank you.
I'm sure that however things do develop for you, the club and others are going to be grateful for your dedication and organisational skills. Thank you and well done, Alex.
Thank you.
And we move on to the winner in this category. And the winner is Francesca Rowland. Citation for Francesca. Francesca joined Slough Junior AC when she was only 6 years old. She competed for several years in sports hall, track and field, and also represented her county, Berkshire. She no longer competes herself, but instead is totally committed to supporting the club, its athletes, coaches, and members with the same dedication, infectious, and can do, will do, give me the next thing attitude that she had as an athlete. She combines coaching and officiating with numerous admin and committee roles. And these roles include club secretary, welfare officer, coach liaison, and team manager. She also leads a multi-event group within the club and assists with the management of Berkshire sports hall teams. Reading the nomination papers about Francesca, I quickly formed the view that every club needs a Francesca. She's clearly a very selfless person who dedicates all her best and considerable efforts to the development of young athletes, driven by the will to help them realise their full potential as athletes and as individual people. I liked this summarising comment from the nomination. Francesca brings huge value to the club through her experience in welfare and mental health issues, ensuring the whole athlete is coached, not just the physical attributes of the athlete. Francesca is a champion of this athlete-centric, holistic approach. And we now have a video to play.
Thank you, Francesca, for helping me over the years.
Amazing role model for my daughter and all the children.
I'd like to say thank you to Fran, and just thank you for all the time and effort that you put into the club, be it for organising teams, which I know can be very stressful, for Wessex League and Sports Hall, and just helping coaches out in general, even just on a week-to-week basis, just making sure we're okay and all the little things that go a long way. And also, even if it does mean taking time out of your weekend and any free time that you have to mark our coaching workbooks, even if we don't put them in on time or don't have them ready in time. But I appreciate all the time that you've taken out for us and taken out for the club, and just how much of a good person you've been for myself, and how much of an impact you've just not had on the club, but you've had in general. And yes.
We are truly grateful to her for keeping the children engaged through a horrendous year due to COVID-19.
Francesca, for all you've done for me, I've really enjoyed training with you.
I just want to say a big thank you to Francesca for all the help and support that she's given me through my coaching career over the past couple of years. She's been a fabulous mentor and I've learned so much from her. Thank you.
Lovely person inside and out.
She makes me laugh when I'm sad, or if I make a joke out of something, and if she don't think it's funny, she'll make it funny.
Francesca is so kind, caring and selfless. She dedicates so much time to helping other people and has inspired so many over the years, myself included. It's really amazing to see her get recognised for this award.
Wow, Francesca, that was quite something. Well
I don't
done.
know what to say.
Quite embarrassing, yes. Just a few questions for you. Let's hope I can help put you at your ease a bit. Reading about you and your contribution to Slough Juniors, I noted that you have a particular interest in the development of the whole young person.
Yeah.
On the development of good mental health as well as physical development. Would you like to say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course. I suffer myself quite significantly with anxiety. And I've also been through episodes of quite serious depression. And the club pulled me out of those places. It was a place for me to go. On Saturdays, it was regular routine. Even when I was struggling, I was able to go, and I still went down and I helped coach. And I carried on with my role, and it was almost like a safe place for me to go where I didn't feel judged. And it's important to me that the children feel that way as well. And also the other coaches. So when they're struggling with a problem or when they're anxious, they know that we're a place that they can come, they can talk to us, and we will support them through whatever they're going through, whether it's at school, at home, or even coming into athletics. Some of them have been anxious joining, and it's really important that they are able to feel safe in the environment that we can provide for them.
I think also that you've taken a very active role during the COVID period. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
So we obviously had to stop all of our sessions in the middle of March, and we had our normal Easter break anyway, and we called a meeting with all of the coaches, and I thought what would be really good was if we did some Zoom sessions instead of our normal Saturday sessions. I pitched to the coaches that we would have Zoom as a replacement. And so every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, we were up with the 5 and 6 year olds bouncing around our houses, trying to keep them going. And we continue to do that the whole way through. And as my role as welfare officer, I took on the responsibility of being the COVID-19 club officer as well. So as soon as we could go back to training in July, all the coaches came down, and we had groups of 1 to 5, just to make sure that there was a routine for the children and they could keep going even though they weren't in school. And I thought that was really important.
Thanks for that. And what about yourself? How do you see your own role developing in the years ahead?
So through athletics, I've actually, over the last couple of years, become a teacher. I went into sports teaching, and I've continued that. And I just want to keep going. I want to keep progressing the club over. Goodness, I've been there so many years. But as a coach, we've expanded the club has expanded massively over the past couple of years, and I just hope that we can continue to do that, and we can continue to offer the children a safe place, somewhere where they can have fun, where they can laugh, where they can make friends, because that's what the club offered me when I was an athlete, and I just want that to keep going as much as possible.
Great. And I'll ask you the same question I asked Alex. Is there anyone special you'd like to thank this evening?
Yes, this award is not for me. This award is for the athletes and the parents and the coaches and some faces I haven't seen for a while that have come out of that video. This award is all for them. Without them, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now. So this is for them, and also for my dad. He is massive in what I do. And yeah, this one's for them.
Lovely. Thank you. And Thank you. I go back to the words I use in my citation. Every club should have a Francesca. Well done. It's been quite a humbling experience to speak to Alex and Francesca this evening, because I'm so impressed by them both. I think you'll feel sure that they're very deserving of being mentioned and winning these awards. And I think I now pass on to Julian.
Yes, that's right, Alan. Thank you very much. Very inspiring hearing from our youth, if that's how they like to be described. We now move on to the Volunteer of the Year Award. This award recognises the efforts of a volunteer who is seen as invaluable within their club, local area or region. And this year's runner-up is Christine Taylor. Hi, Christine. I think you're on the line there somewhere.
Hopefully. Yeah, I'm here.
Right, I'm just going to talk about you a little bit and then I'll come back to you with a question or two. Christine was nominated by Di Norman, who was one of last year's nominated volunteers. She said, Christine started at the club in 2015, initially being her daughter's lift to the track. Over the last 5 years, she's increasingly given up her time to volunteer, seeing less of her daughters, I imagine. At the club, she's the Lily B team manager, who over the last 4 years, according to Di, has kept the team motivated, securing the league and cup for 2 successive years. I can think of some football teams are going to want to get hold of you. Christine has started her coaching journey and is currently finishing her athletics coach qualification. When she's not coaching, she's helping manage the club room, whether it's collecting track fees, selling kit, refreshments, keeping the place tidy, soliciting other volunteers to help her and manage the track bookends. Di said, her volunteering time is invaluable to the club. Others can see this and want to contribute too. She's made a massive impact and does this all with a warming smile, which we can see on the screen now. Congratulations, Christine.
Thank you very much.
So have you got any tips that you can share about getting your volunteers engaged and involved?
Well, no, not really, to be honest. It's just I enjoy doing the job I do and I enjoy the kids, seeing them progress. And it's something I enjoy and I carry on doing it, really.
Well, I was just reflecting on my own experience. Is it actually, if you do have a bit of time to sit in a club hut and take fees or sell kit or something like that, you're actually getting the time to engage the people then, which is often quite a useful. You can start a conversation, which you can't really do when you're out coaching people on the track. That was a thought I made. I was thinking about that. So, how do you feel about winning, coming up as the runner-up in this award?
No, I mean, it's great to be recognised first and foremost. So I'm quite privileged. I enjoy what I do, and the fact that club they put me forward. So I'm over the moon. Really, it's lovely. It's really nice.
Well, it's good to see both you and Alex on the list here. So that's quite a good one for Epsom Renewal.
Absolutely, Alex is great. He does a lot for the club and he helps out, and it was good to see him earlier. No, it was great.
And of course, last year Epsom Renewal as Coach of the Year won the National Coach of the Year award, so that was pretty good going.
Yes, very good.
So that's great, Christine. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
I'm now going to move on to the winner of this category. Now, the winner of this category is Tracy Jones. Tracy Jones is from Southampton Athletic Club. She was nominated by Nikki Pearce. Now, Nikki said, where do I start? Tracy got involved with athletics through her son when he joined Southampton 11 years ago. Oh, somebody's making a noise in the background there. Over the last 8 years, she's become more and more involved. Initially as a club official, Tracy quickly progressed to county and regional levels before joining the coaching fraternity and becoming the club's jump coach as others moved on. 2 of her current cadre of athletes are hoping to reach the Paralympic qualifying standard. So that'll be interesting to see if that works. Increasing her involvement initially as the club's official secretary, Tracy then started organising open meeting competitions, increasing year on year the number of those. In addition, she makes sure there's enough food for all. It's very important when you're an official. And the track's booked for all the Southampton fixtures. Recently, Tracy's become chair of the club and has made a few changes to the club's approach, including starting a development academy for young athletes and encouraging teenagers to begin their coaching journey. Tracy has forged connections with the local volunteering community, introducing them to athletics and garnering their support when required. Nikki says, nothing is too much for Tracy, encouraging all to get involved, and she can be found scoring, serving tea and coffee, on the field, helping everywhere. I'd like to say, Tracy, you are a thoroughly deserving winner of this award and demonstrates the support of your club to the efforts that you are making. This is me personally, I hope to be able to present this award to you in person in the very near future, if we're allowed. So congratulations, Tracy.
Well, thank you. I'm chuffed, absolutely chuffed.
Very, very good. Now, what do you enjoy about being part of Southampton?
I just think it's a lovely sport. The showmanship between the athletes, the commitment from all the volunteers. It's just lovely. It's just a great sport, and I think I'm biased, but I think Southampton's the best club in the south. But I am slightly biased.
It depends where you draw the south line.
Not telling.
The Isle of Wight said something about that, and so did Guernsey. So,
let's club in Hampshire then.
Oh, that's true. Now, are there any thoughts you'd like to pass on to others listening about volunteers?
I just think you have to make that first step. You just have to cross the line from sitting on the stands watching, go and pick up the rake, go and sidle up to someone and say, let me make the tea. Just do a little bit. And that little bit, you will get so much back in return. It's just amazing. And the people I've met, honestly, the people in the club, the people that support me, the people that I support, it's just fantastic.
You got to meet the BBC earlier in the year as well, didn't you?
I did, yes. Yeah, I had fellow dog walkers walking up to me and going, I've seen you.
So, and what was that about?
At the end of lockdown, we wanted to put an open on. And I had always hoped that we'd be able to do it. But I personally couldn't do it. I had too much. I was doing too much. And I think someone earlier on this evening said they just take on too much and too much. But one of our coaches, Katie, stepped up to the mark and took on the job and organised an open. And in the meantime, somebody else decided we needed to get some publicity and got the BBC involved, and they came and did a short film, interviewed some athletes, a coach, myself, raised the profile of the club. It was just brilliant.
No, I got to see that video because Nikki sent it to me. And for everybody else listening in, we didn't manage to get a video clip of Tracy to play that really showed Tracy in the best light possible, which is why we haven't played one for her. So I'm trying to think if I've got another question for you, Tracy. Well, I'm certainly looking forward to coming down to meet you and actually physically give you this award, because I'd like to talk to you more about the development scheme that you're doing for young athletes and learning a little bit about that, so we can share those sorts of things around the region and maybe see how you'd like to get involved in other things. But as Alan was saying, is there anybody inspirational that you'd like to thank?
I don't know where I'd start. I think there's been so many people along the journey. From the first person who sidled up to me and said, do you fancy a bit of officiating? to the club secretary that I had a walk with this afternoon. I don't think it would be fair to mention anyone in particular. I just think as a club, we work together and we support one another. Is that a cop-out?
No, I think that's very fair. So I'm going to thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you, and congratulations to you and to Christine for getting this far in the award ceremony, and best of luck to you certainly in the next stage.
Thank you.
We'll talk about in a minute or two. Now, our next award, and the final award of the evening, is going to be presented by Keith. So we're moving over to Keith.
Thank you. Thank you, Julian. And the final award of the evening is the Services to Athletics or Running. This award recognises long-term outstanding service to the sport from an individual or group of individuals. And the runner-up in this category is Paul Lockyer. Now, Paul, as with many long-time serving volunteers, started off with his club as an athlete and then moved into helping out with the club's activities and becoming a valuable member of the club's committee, taking on many roles within the club, including coaching, officiating, being a team manager to 2 teams, as well as organising the club's home fixtures. He's the current president, and 2020 would have seen Paul involved with Sutton for 50 years. Unfortunately, due to the pandemic, the club's celebration of this tremendous achievement has had to be put on hold. During the pandemic and lockdown, Paul was kept busy sorting out club rankings as well as attending various webinars to be able to keep the club members updated. He organises kit, equipment, field cards for not only his club, but also for other leagues in Surrey. He steps into the breach as team manager when no one else comes forward, or is more than willing to help a new team manager with the role. The impact Paul has had is a great role model to others. Without Paul's, the club would have had to cut numbers, not be able to attend league competitions, thereby depriving athletes of the opportunity to compete. Paul is the asset everyone wants at their club. On a personal note, being involved with the Surrey and Sussex Combined Events Championships, which are held at Sutton, Paul is always more than willing to help in any way he can and sees it important that the event reflects well on his own club. I don't know whether we have Paul with us.
I don't think we do, Keith. Paul, if you are there, shout up so we can hear you, but I can't see Paul's name on the screen, Keith.
Okay, we don't seem to have Paul with us this evening. So we'll now move on to the winner in this category. And the winner is Phil Baker. Phil was a more than competent athlete, winning the Sussex 5,000 metres championships in 1970. He competed for Portsmouth, but injury forced him to give up his athletic career. Living in Chichester, he decided to form a club 36 years ago. Chichester Runners were born. The club progressed from a running club with just a few members to a full athletic club with now over 500 members. He was the secretary of the club for 30 years, is a coach and team manager, and has just been elected as president. It is Phil's drive and enthusiasm that has created some of the most popular events on the Sussex athletic calendar, not least cross-country events at Goodwood and a community-based series of races around Chichester city centre. In addition, throughout his irrepressible powers of persuasion, he organised an army of marshals and officials to ensure the events run professionally. Phil's enthusiasm for the sport goes unabated. He took on the role of Sussex Cross Country League organiser several years ago and has seen the league grow in participants, with in recent years over 600 athletes competing at each fixture across the various age groups. Not only does he coach athletes, arrange teams, organise transport and be fully engaged at events, Phil writes a comprehensive weekly report for the Chichester Observer newspaper of the week's athletics activities. This has provided Chichester Runners AC with prominence in the community and given athletes motivational recognition. Even with less successful athletes, Phil provides words of warmth and encouragement, ensuring that everyone feels they are contributing to the team. Arguably, a standout feature has been Phil's dedication to encourage schoolboys and schoolgirls into athletics. There will be thousands who look back on their time being mentored by Phil and realise how fortunate they were to have been a member of Chichester Runners AC and to have known Phil. We now have a video to play made by some of the club members.
Phil Baker has been prominent in all forms of athletics in Sussex for several decades. He has been an active coach for over 50 years and in 1984 was one of the founder members of Chichester Runners and AC, which now has over 500 members. He has focused on junior athletics.
Phil brings so much enthusiasm and energy to every training session, even on those cold and wet winter nights. He has offered amazing support and guidance to me throughout my running career, and recently put his all into mentoring me to become a coach myself. He is truly an incredible coach and a great person. I could not have asked for a better mentor, old school jokes included. He has helped generate success at county and national levels whilst working tirelessly to create opportunities for school children to participate in athletics.
The time and commitment Phil has put into arranging, managing and supporting teams will pass into folklore, and his regular articles in the Chichester Observer newspaper provide Chichester runners with huge local recognition. Phil has for many years been race director for several annual events. One such is the Chichester Corporate Challenge Road Race Series, which since its inception in 1992 has seen some 50,000 runners of all ages racing around the streets of Chichester over 86 separate evenings. In addition, he has been responsible for organising numerous highly successful Sussex Cross-Country League and relay events in the stunning arena of Goodwood. Phil was Honorary Secretary of Chichester Runners for 30 years and is currently Vice President. He is also Vice President of the Sussex County Athletic Association, with whom he has been heavily involved for 30 years. We know no one who has given as much time to any endeavour as Phil has to athletics.
And we wish him the same success with his award as he has sought for thousands of athletes.
Thanks Phil, you're great.
Thanks Phil for all your effort.
Thank you Phil.
Congratulations Phil, nice to see you. People said some nice words about you there, which is unusual.
I hope I've managed to unmute myself, have I?
You have unmuted yourself, yes. Well done. You've been with the club, well, since you founded it in 36 years ago. What's do you think has been your highlight or highlights?
Yes, it's extremely hard, isn't it? If you look back, I'm sure with lots of people who've had awards all evening, our aspirations when we started were actually awfully small. We had a group of us all in our senior-ish years. Some were vets, some weren't. We just wanted to go out and running together. And then we found out that if we didn't get juniors, our club would be getting older and older. And I think it's all happened from there, really. I don't know if there have been highlights of people who have won things on the national stage, but I'd imagine the thing that has caused us most pleasure in the club is seeing all sorts of athletes
as all sorts of clubs have said in the course of the evening, who have improved from being newcomers into the sport and ending up fulfilling, I suppose, all their potential. I suppose that's what I'd like to say.
And I understand that, well, I know one of your passions has been to get a track in Chichester. I understand that that may come to fruition in the near future.
Right, well, it's very interesting you say that, Keith, because I have an audience here of people. I've seen the people who've had awards, and lots of them look actually awfully wealthy. So we have agreement for a training track in the centre of the city, and the club has managed to invest in the planning. It was agreed just in the last week, and we're actually investing, I think, £100,000 into the track, which I think is a third of its cost. So we should be looking to try and raise funds and have other partners. But hopefully that will be in the planning stages now, in the final planning stages, and we might see that come to fruition in the next year or so.
Well, thank you very much, Phil. Let's hope that works out well for you. And once again, many congratulations.
I'd just like to say one thing, if I can end up, which I think has echoed what people have said. The secret of being involved in the sport is to try and earmark people who have more skill at various things than you have. So I think the thing that makes our sport so enjoyable is working in a team of people who are extremely supportive.
Yeah, well said. Thank you very much. That concludes our award presentations. Congratulations to all our winners and runners-up, and to everyone who was nominated. We now have a message from Dave Lodwick, Chair of the England National Council.
I would like to send my congratulations to all our worthy winners, runners-up and nominees. I would also like to say a big thank you to all of you who took the time to nominate someone and show them how much you appreciate their dedication. As a volunteer myself, I know that we do it because we enjoy it, but never underestimate the power that even a simple thank you from an athlete or parent can have. Since the start of the pandemic, our sport has shown great resilience. From the EA staff going above and beyond to provide us with guidance and online content, to the club volunteers devising ingenious ways to keep their members feel connected and active. A lot has been written about the negative effect of lockdown and isolation on mental health, and I have no doubt that the efforts of our wonderful volunteers have made a massive difference to people's sense of well-being. Looking forward to next year, at the end of January, we'll be calling for people to put themselves forward to join our band of regional councillors. These people, who are active volunteers like you, play a vital role in advising the board, staff and other decision makers on the issues faced by the grassroots of the sport, and help to ensure that clubs, athletes and volunteers remain front and centre in everything that EA does.
Remembering to unmute. In closing, I'd like to thank Alan and Keith for the years that they have been on the council. The remainder of us is fairly new, and the efforts that they've made in the past in judging these awards and supporting England athletics. I'd also like to thank Amy, who's been working in the back room with Heidi and Stephen to join all the evening's moving parts together. Not forgetting everybody who assembled all those wonderful videos that we've seen and the material and the nominations that have come together to allow us to have this evening. Finally, I was privileged to be part of the National Awards selection meeting, and I can say that the standard of our nominations is high in comparison to others, together with the volume. We have a lot of nominations to go through and work out the worthy winners and runners up. Thanks to all who've tuned in, written citations, volunteered, contributed to our community. congratulations to you all. I hope you've all had an enjoyable evening, and I look forward to meeting many of you in the future. For those in Guernsey, have a safe journey home. For everybody else, stay safe at home. Good night.